started. So can you see the shared screen? Is it clear for you guys?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so basically, we're going to talk about the three types of operating systems. So basically, the three types of operating system are operating systems that's actually running our decisions, our behavior, and our results, and how we interact with our emotions, how we interact with the people around us, how we interact with the situation that we are encountering. So basically, the three types of operating system are actually run by one is emotion, one is identity, and the other one is awareness. So why you react, why you delay, and how to shift into a creator mode. So if you have any questions, you just type it in the chat and then I'll just reply while we're doing the presentation, okay? So the big idea is your actions come from the system running you. So emotion creates reaction, identity creates patterns, and awareness creates choice. So trying to change action from the same state is the handbrake life plan. So oops. So what this does is a reactor, responder, and a creator. So reactor basically operates from emotion. It reacts through emotion, and responder reacts to identity or responds using identity. While awareness, if you are operating from awareness, you are not responding or reacting. Basically, what you do is we make a choice, and from that choice, we take action. And this is why you can see why people follow the same strategy but has different execution, different behavior, and different results just on the same strategy, because it has nothing to do with the strategy that we are implementing. It is really about the operating system behind it. So the analogy to make it even more understandable is the reactor, which operates from emotion, is the weather, and then the identity, the responder, is the car, and the driver is the awareness. So this is why sometimes if we react out of emotion, we don't think, right? That's like the weather. If you are in a bad mood and then you suddenly take action from emotion, what happens is that after you take that action, you feel sorry at the end because you just suddenly reacted on a situation, and then suddenly you feel sorry about the action that you took from a situation, because we are when we act or risk or react from an emotional state. So going deeper, what is emotion? When emotion grabs the wheel, it is fast, it is loud, it is urgent. It is not bad. Emotion responder, a reactor is not bad. It is just it is its nature. It is to protect ourselves, but it is terrible at the long-term choices. So basically, a reactor is triggered based, right? So it operates from an emotion. It get triggers by an emotion. For example, when you are feeling happy, right? You're feeling happy on a day. You've been with your family or with your friends, and then suddenly you got your bill, bills to pay. Example, your electricity bill. Suddenly, your whole day can be ruined, or maybe a message or an email. Out of nothing, your whole mood is disturbed. That is a reactor. That's how reacts on a situation. And a reactor, what it does, it wants relief right away, because a reactor, since it wants to protect itself, it always stays in the comfort zone. So the reactor, what it is actually our human instinct to protect ourselves before we have this civilization, when we are living with the threat of the animals, the weather. It is an operating system to for survival. So its goal is to protect ourselves, and it acts before seeing clearly, right? So the reason it acts before seeing clearly, it is rooted from fear. So, for example, with paying bills, you don't want to lose money, so you suddenly react, and then you feel negative about it. So that is a reactor mode. So the same thing if we want to create a video content, or we want to post, or we want to be exposed outside publicly, we are mostly scared. We are fearful, right? So if you are creating a video content, most of our reaction is we just get tensed, right? Simply because of the idea that you will get exposed. It's something uncomfortable to do. So let's go deeper in that. So signs that we are on a reactor mode.
Oh my gosh.
And you're in reactor mode when urgency suddenly take over. Tiny things suddenly feels urge. Like you feel rushed when you feel tense about something about the situation, just like with video content, with getting bills, is if you feel suddenly that you are in panic, that's a reactor mode. If you want to prove something, if you are in conversation with someone and you want to prove something, you want to stand out, you want to be, you are protecting your certain belief, right? You don't want to be ruled out of an idea. So you react on a conversation, right? If you avoid discomfort, it's a reactor mode. So basically, again, if you're in a survival mode, if you're in a protective mode, you don't want discomfort because everything that you are going to do that is outside your comfort zone is a sign as a threat, and you suddenly reacts. So you make small things massive, right? You make an elephant out of an ant, right? Just like with paying bills, for example, as a common thing that's happening with us, paying bills is a normal thing. It's not a big deal, right? But it can ruin the whole day. It can ruin the situation with our family. It can ruin your your relationship with people, with your surrounding, ultimately with yourself. A simple thing, a normal thing that's not a problem becomes a problem simply because we are on a operating system from emotion. We are reacting on a situation. So you check results like they owe you money. It's like if you are a content creator, for example, or you run a community, and then you have an expectation, you created a post, but nobody engages, and then it is something that doesn't align with the result that you want to have, you get demotivated. You feel like you are threatened somehow deep in the subconscious level. So you suddenly react, said, I'm a failure. It's not working. All those negative thoughts starting creeping in, and that's a sign of a reactor mode. Okay, so what tiny things have you made? Question: what tiny things have you made way too heavy lately? So just try to check out in your situation, in your condition, in your life, your relationship with people. Have you ever been in a reactor mode? It's not evil. It's just a human instinct that we need to develop. And somehow, a lot of people, if you look around us, we are always on a reactor mode, unfortunately. And it is all the emotion that's really controlling or running the as a reactor mode is basically fear. It's always fear driven. And does it make sense?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
So the second operating system is what we call the responder. So what is the responder? Identity runs the pattern. More stable than emotion, it's better than emotion, but still limited by old stories. So basically, we have multiple identities really, right? So what is a responder? It is a self-image. It is better because now you have choice, right? It is based on self-image. It is based on belief and values that we have been programmed by our family, by our culture, by our environment, by our education. We create a certain personality. So a responder, if is something that's been programmed to us, right? And what happens is, as an id- as a young child, while we are growing, we are actually developing and creating a certain personality, right? And being a responder is like, for example, paying bills. You get your bills. A reactor, his whole day is ruined, right? As a responder, you see your bills, and then you say, "Hey, you make a choice. You can respond to that situation. It will not really ruin your day because you will say, I have an image of I'm a father, I'm a parent. This is my responsibility. So this operates from a certain persona, certain identity. So because of that identity, you are able to not react but to respond. It can ruin your day a bit, but just having that identity that I'm a responsible person, I it is my it is my task as a parent, as a human being. It gives less resistance. So this is why it is better than reactor, because responding you can have less resistance simply because you have an identity. So it is a personality, but identity is an operating system which is good in a certain level. It is good because you can have less resistance, and then you can make it less fearful. But the problem with identity, it still has its limitation. Okay? So, for example, an identity basically is not just one. The way you interact with your spouse, the way you interact with your siblings, the way you interact with your friends, the way you interact with your boss are all different function, are all different personality. Make sense?
Yes.
So identity is not just the person who you are, but it is to whom you interact with, right? So there are multiple personality. So one thing you can see outside in the online space and in the manifestations teachings is you need to operate or act, think as your future version of yourself, right? Which is good, the best version of yourself. And thanks, Lexi. So this is a good concept and it does work. The only problem it can be is it can still have limitation. Why? Because of it, this is why most of the affirmations, most of the visualization is not working. Because when identity runs the pattern, you have this idea of the best version of yourself. You just make an affirmation. I'm making 10K a month. I'm a successful entrepreneur. I'm a successful fitness coach. Whatever best version that you want to operate with, but your current life situation is not aligned with that. You're not making 10K a month, right? So that creates a resistance. Okay, so this is why there's a limitation with operating from a personality. So, which is the identity trap. Old identity often sounds like truth, right? So, one of the personality we have deep in our subconscious level is I'm just not confident, I'm not a leader. I always overthink. It's a personality that we have created, and because we believe on a certain personality, it becomes a trap. It becomes a cage. Like just like being a best version of yourself, it's a good concept, it's a good practice, but it can be still a trap. It can still be a cage. It can be the reason why we start worrying, we start creating doubt. And the problem is the doubt is most of the time in our subconscious level. We are not even aware of it simply because there is a misalignment of our identity and with our current situation. So the mind loves calling old programming a personality, which is a sneaky, very, very sneaky little thing. Because if you check out how our consciousness works, 5% of the 16 hours that we are awake, most of the time we are unconscious, right? So basically, everything that we do, all the thought patterns, all the emotions that's been in front of our emotion and our consciousness is rooted from an identity that is rooted in the subconscious level. So operating from an identity, shifting identity is not enough for us to achieve our certain goal. So relying on just on an identity is not enough for us to take action aligned to our goals because it is again limited to a personality. It's still a cage, it's still an idea, but it is better than a reactor. Does it make sense? If you have any question, just drop it in the chat. You see, we're going to the. Thank you. So, the third operating system is the creator. The creator is where awareness chooses. Creator sees emotion and identity without being owned by either one. This is our natural state, as we say. This is our ultimate goal because awareness seizes emotion, it sees identity, and then it chooses role and it chooses direction. So, what is awareness? Why is it so powerful? Awareness has no limitation. It is the very consciousness that sees emotion, that sees thoughts, that recognizes our state. It's in our background. It's always present. Even though you are in the reactor mode, it's present. If you are in a responder operating system, it is present. It cannot be unpresent. Even when you are asleep, it is present. It is the one that experienced the reactor mode. It is the one that experienced the responder mode. It is the one that experienced the identity. It is the one that experienced when you're sleeping, right? Even if you're on a deep sleep without even dreams, when you wake up, you have this experience of deep sleep. Your personality is not there. Your who am I is not there. The conscious mind is not there, but the awareness is there to record the feeling of calmness, of emptiness, right? So operating from awareness, you don't respond or from situation. You create your situation. You create your goal. You start choosing. And the power of awareness, it has no limitation. This is the goal of meditation, right? This is why meditation is very powerful because when you are meditating or being mindful, you are being present. Present awareness, all consciousness is awareness. And this is why meditation is a very powerful practice because what it does is you sit down, you stay calm. What you do is you just observe the mind. You observe the thought patterns. By being aware, You can identify what type of identity or what type of state is in your subconscious level. So, what type of thoughts and emotion is coming, showing up in your consciousness just by being conscious of it as an observer, then you will identify what type of identity is programmed in your subconscious level. And just by being aware of that, you can start rewiring, you can start choosing what to do next without being affected from an emotion, without being affected from the thought. You take control of the thought, you take control of your emotion. Your thoughts and emotion will not run your day, will not make decision for yourself. It becomes your servant. And this is the power of awareness. That is the creator mode. So, do you have any question about the awareness?
That's great.
Okay, cool. So, in the awareness mode, right? If you are in the creator operating system, if you are operating from awareness, what's supposed to be an identity becomes a character. So you don't getting controlled by identity. Your identity doesn't become your limitation anymore. Suddenly, all those different identity, there's personality, those become functions in your life. Hey, Marjoline. No, that's all right. That's all right. There'll be a recording anyway, so you can also watch from the beginning. So with if you are on the creator mode, you operate from awareness. So what happens is identity is not your operating system. It will not control your decision. Your identity just becomes a character. From a creator perspective, from a creator mode, you can simply create a character from a specific situation, just like a character how to deal with your family, a character how you deal with your business, a character how you deal with the problem, a character how you deal with emotion or thoughts within yourself. And because it is just a character, you create a space you can take control of the situation ultimately. So you become a calm teacher, you become a clear guide, and you become a brave creator. You are not the role. You choose the role of a situation. This is why I in a creator mode operating system, you don't you choose, you create. You create your goal. You create your reality in short, right? There is no limitation. And that is the power. So a creator mode is actually the goal in this clarity system, what we have inside the community. Our goal is to identify what operating system is running with our in our life. So we start the reactor mode, the reactor operating system. We use awareness to identify are we operating from identity, and ultimately our goal in clarity is to start operating from the awareness. So does this make sense? If you have any questions, just drop it. Okay, we're going to the next slide. It will be sent to you, Lexi. There are some cool questions in it, right? So why do people stay stuck? Basically, it's because of the operating system that being we're operating from, right? So even though you have a new goal, but the problem is if you operate from an old identity, you will get the same resistance. Even though you have the identity, even though you have this identity of being the best version of yourself, and still you don't operate from awareness, you will always have the same resistance. It's just a loop, right? What happens, and then you will create another identity with another new goal, and then you will experience another resistance. So the loop is just actually going on. So the clarity shift from mental static to awareness as the operating system. This is the whole goal of clarity. So this is why with clarity we always start with observing what state are we operating from, what is the state that we are having right now, because just noticing the state identifies what type of identity are we operating from. So noticing the state, meaning the most simple way to understand what noticing the state is by identifying how do I feel now. Are you feeling good or are you feeling bad? Right? Are you feeling relaxed or are you feeling worried? Right? Just by stepping back and then just notice what state, and you just name that state. We call it static state. Just by doing so, you already create a distance between the state and yourself, your awareness. Because if you don't have that distance, that state will take control of your decisions. That state will take control of your emotion. That state will take control of your thoughts. And that state will take control of your actions and your result. So, noticing the state creates a space and choice. Okay? So, from that, you start transformation and you start creating new identity. You start creating a new character. This is the whole summary of the clarity shift method. So, to break down what the clarity shift method is a simple path from noise to awareness. So, ultimately, our goal is from a reactor mode to operate as a creator mode. So, K stands for number one is know the static. This is the whole key. Know is your awareness, static is the state. I feel good or I feel bad. That's the starting point. Once you identify your state, you create a distance, you just name it, then you create a detachment. Okay? So once you notice your state, L stands for loosen the story. From every static, from every state that we feel, there is a story behind it. There is a story that is supporting that state that makes that state stronger. So a story is what thought is supporting that feeling. Just like when I made an example of paying bills, right? You don't feel good. The moment you don't feel good, suddenly your mind, your thought to say, oh, I don't have enough money to pay. I can use this money for something else. Why does this bill just suddenly came? I'm having a good time. So a lot of thoughts will start popping up. And this is why using awareness, identify that thought so that you can see that this thought has no truth in it. It's not real. It's just a thought that's coming from this static feeling, from a state. So this story, if you are not aware of that story, if you don't use awareness and identify that story, this story will become stronger, and then it feels like it is real. Then it will start taking control of our actions, of our behavior, and etc. Right? So A stands for anchor in awareness, right? Meaning you just stay in your awareness. Be aware of your state. Be aware of the story. Be aware of your emotion, right? Anchor in awareness so that because this can be very distracting. If you have the story, sometimes the story can be so convincing that we lose awareness because the story feels so real, feels so strong, feels so aligned in our situation. We lose awareness, and then boom, the story and the static runs our life, and then problem occur. Okay, so that's why anchor in awareness, stay aware is very, very powerful. So that there is no power on the story and there is no power on the emotion. R stands for release resistance. So How do we stay calm even though if we are on a situation like we're struggling with money, we're struggling with relationship, we're struggling with business? Now we need to release all those resistance. And the best way for releasing resistance is what we call gratitude. Okay? Gratitude is the most powerful way to release resistance because gratitude makes us see things that we never look at. In reality, we are an abundant being, right? The problem, if you are on a static state, if you are on a negative state, if you are on a survival mode, if you are on a responder mode, on a instinct of survival, everything becomes everything becomes a threat, right? Even though there is no threat. When you are on in a static state, we always think about the things that we don't have. Right? Think about it. There will be million or billion things that we don't have. We don't have a Ferrari. We don't have $1 million. We don't have big house. We don't have a yacht or three dolphins clapping to us and then praising us. We don't have those attention. There are a million things. But with gratitude, what we do with gratitude, we focus on the things that we have. First, we have life. The moment that you wake up in the morning, the first thing that we do is we say thank you and we smile. Why? Because we are alive. That's the first sign of gratitude. How many of us, when we wake up in the morning, what we first do is we check on our cell phone? We check, maybe we have, did somebody respond on my post? Did somebody DM me? Did I got a sale? Right? So if you wake up in the morning without gratitude and you check your cell phone and there's nobody engaging, you have emails from a boss or something, you're already stressed out. If the moment that you wake up in the morning, your brain is in alpha state and you are already intense, you're already in panic mode, then you will be in panic on your whole day. It will run your whole day, right? But gratitude makes us be thankful for the life. I remember when I had a motorcycle accident, and it was funny because I could not walk properly. I was limping. It was very hard to walk. And when I see people walking with their two legs, I feel so jealous. Right? I said, wow, I wish I could walk with my two legs. So it is a reminder. It just came in my mind, said, I was never thankful about my two legs were functioning properly. We never say thank you about our hands working properly until something happens in life that we broke our arm or whatever situation that, that life gives us a reminder to be thankful of what we have. So there are many things that we can have, that we can be thankful of, that we can see. We have food on the table. We have roof in our above our head, right? We have people that love us. There's so many things that we can be thankful of. And why is this very important? Because with gratitude, we start to worry less. We start being thankful. It releases the tension, right? It releases the resistance. It takes us out of survival mode. It makes us it it's a reminder, or it tells our subconscious mind that we are not in a threat mode. We are not in a survival. We are not on a state of danger because we have everything what we need, to be honest, right? And also another thing that is very helpful physically to release resistance is breath works, right? Your body is like a dashboard. It tells you what state we are. If we start breathing fast, if we have some, if our shoulder is a little bit high, if we feel tense inside in our body, we are on a static state. So a best way biologically is doing some breath works. taking some deep breath. Once you take some deep breath and you hold it for about 5 seconds and then slowly release it in 6 seconds and do it a couple of times, somehow you will feel relaxed. This calms your nervous system. This calms your nervous regulating system. It tells your body, it tells your subconscious mind that you are safe. So before you make a decision, a big decision, try to take a deep breath. Try to be aware of the things that you have. Be thankful. Be aware of your state. Be aware of your emotion, and then make a calm decision. And you will see the quality of your decision is something that is aligned on whatever goal that you have. Letter I is intention. So after noticing the static, after you identify the thoughts, you anchor to awareness, you have gratitude, you are more relaxed. Intention means that every action that you take from there on becomes more intention. You don't take action because of your emotion. You don't take action because of a thought. You don't take action because of a certain identity, but you take action with intention. So intention is actually taking action with your desired goal. It's alignment of your desired goal. It's an action that is aligned with whatever goal that you want to do. So intention is actually creating, building your dreams, creating your whatever goal that you have, it is aligned. So intention is taking action not because you feel that you are it's not because you're chasing something, because you're building something. You're creating your dream, you're creating your goal, you're creating your destination. So taking intention is like driving a car with music, with GPS, bad or good weather, you are driving smoothly with a big smile, with nice music, and perfectly driving without any resistance. Okay? So, after intention, T stands for transformation. By doing the intention, you start transforming yourself. You start creating characters. You start creating identities that is aligned with your goal. So you start emptying all those programs inside the subconscious mind. You start transforming them to something that is aligned with your goal. You start creating an army of characters that are peaceful and that are aligned with your goal. So transformation happens after knowing the static, losing the story, anchor in awareness, release your resistance, take intention action, and then you start transforming. And the last one is integration. Integration meaning is you are operating this in real world. You're doing this, everything is in aligned. Everything takes place accordingly. So with integration, the result with integration is everything that is happening in your life supposed to happen like that, and then you just see that everything is happening for you, not just through you. Every situation that is happening is for you. All you have to do is integrate all this situation. Every situation has a lesson to learn. Every situation that is happening in you is for your growth. Okay, so everything becomes aligned. Integration is alignment from whatever situation is happening in your life. And there are a lot of times that it looks really, it looks really bad, but there's always a, as we know, God works mysteriously, life works mysteriously. So there are many things in life that happens that is not accordance to our desire, but eventually we cannot grow without overcoming a obstacle, right? And I've noticed that I spoke to Lexi about it many times. Is I was in a big drift recently. I was in, I know what is clarity about, but I was in a big drift, and The more you know things, the more you building something, there will always be more problem to encounter, and that's good, because every problem that we solve, every solution, every problem that we overcome, there will be more problems to come. And the point of these problems is because we learn to solve them and we become a better person. And the more problem we can solve, the more better person we become, the more people we can help. And the more we help more people, the more we get more purpose. We are not here in the world alone. We are here to serve a purpose. We are here to lift each other up. It's not just for us as individual, but it is us for to help each other. Okay? It's just like how the community works. We are one big family here. We learn from an ant. We learn from a dog. We learn from everything in life. So the more we learn, the more we gain knowledge, the more have should share, right? So this is basically what the clarity method is all about. So let's go to the next slide. If you have any question, just drop it, okay? Sorry, I'm getting hype. I love this conversation. This is something that I really want to share because this is something that changed my life, right? And I want to share as much as possible because I want people to change their life. And this is something really, really amazing. And if you feel something good, if it can solve problem, it's just like eating in a restaurant. If you get a good service, good ambience, good food, good price, you want to share it. So I want to share this. Really, it's just amazing. So life exercise. So give it a try. Shift into creator mode in 3 minutes. These are just simple steps. Okay, so first, pick one thing you're delaying. Pick any what you think is an obstacle on your life. Pick something where you feel static, where you feel not good about. Just pick something, small things. Start with small, okay? And then all you have to do is name the emotion. What feeling do you have on this on this situation, on this condition, right? What feeling are you experiencing? And then you just name it. Because again, know the static. If you name it, you create a distance. A distance. You become the awareness, and then the emotion becomes an object. So you become the subject, and you become the object, and then you got the space. That space alone will create less power on the emotion that you have on a certain situation. And now, in every emotion, there is always a story behind it. You name that story, right? What story is running that is supporting this emotion? So you stay in awareness. Once you do that, choose the role that you needed. If it's something is heavy, again, use the release of resistance. Take some deep breath to calm down. Use gratitude to keep you grounded, right? And then choose a role. It's not you who is doing that. Let a role, let a character. You are like the director. You are the observer. You are watching the situation. You're watching this character. See the person that is operating as a third person, right? And you will see that you will not be controlled. You have it's like a bird's eye view of a situation. This is why I don't know if you have noticed that it is easier to give an advice to other people than to ourselves. I
Yes.
have that,
Yeah.
right? I'm very good at giving advice because it's a third person thing. But if it's in myself, oh my goodness, it's heavy, right? And this is the same thing. If you are in your awareness state, you see yourself as a third person, and it's very easy. It's very doable. I won't say it's easy first, but by doing it always, it gets easier. Okay, so choose the role that is needed, and then choose one intentional step, one next step that aligns to whatever goal you have. Okay, so don't pick your whole life. We are not wrestling the universe before lunch. Okay, we are here to just do one small things, and then from one small things we can use this exercise on bigger problems. But it all starts with small and it compounds. Okay, so it becomes like a habit. It becomes a practice. And telling you, put it in the community, post it. What is the result? And I'm really looking forward how that looks like because it really it's a life changer. You know, it's a simple strategy, it's a simple framework, but it's very very powerful. So here's an example of a situation like if you're posting a video, just like I mentioned before, depending on the system, if you are on a reactor mode and you want to post a video, most of the time you just deleted it because you are afraid. Fear operates, takes over, so you delete whatever video you want to post. If you are a responder, you delay it because you want to tweak it, you want to make it aligned on a personality, on a person that you want. You want to express a certain personality throughout the world. You want to show them that you are something good, right? Just like you can see on social media, people only post good stuff, right? You've even people posting they are on Starbucks or something, right? Like Starbucks is kind of sitting in a Starbucks, you know, it's like something cool and classy or successful thing, right? So, but a creator don't give a damn. A creator post as practice. It posts without attachment of emotion, without attachment of thoughts. It relies on feedback. It doesn't even rely. The feedback of posting is data. It tells you exactly what works and what doesn't work, right? You don't prepare for a nice. You just post, right? You're not gonna post sitting in a toilet, right? For example, but just with awareness, you just post, deliver your message, what you want to say, you know. So common sense needs to be part of this, right? Just to make it clear. We don't want to get hyped in a creator mode, like, you know, getting too excited about it, but just be aware, be conscious, post whatever thing that you want to say, and then see the feedback because every response and even no response is data. If you are not attached with your emotion, if you're not attached with your thoughts, it's just a data, and then that's how you actually refine it. Okay, so that's an example with posting a video. So which operating system is your current goal? Right? So again, just to make it clear, a reactor is not bad. Everybody has this operating system. Everybody is the responder, and everybody has the creator operating system. We are all part of that. Nothing is bad, but the good thing is once you are aware of this operating system, then we can start doing something about it. Make sense? I'm just getting hyped. So here's the closing reflection. I hope this makes sense, and I hope you all find value from this. So again, just to make it clear, right? It is not bad. Just for us to be aware. It's just an awareness that we are not the emotion, and we are not the old identity, and not even just the old identity, but any identity are just characters. Okay, so we are the awareness. So we have the our role is to choose to create, right? So we are not here to be a victim of our own thoughts. We are not here to be victim of our emotion. We are here to rule them, right? We are awareness, emotion, thoughts are our servants, happy servants, right? We are all singing together with joy, dancing, taking action in peace, right? We need to understand the one of the very important part in life is we need to have fun. Don't be serious, right? Or else you will get wrinkles, you will get stressed out. We need to enjoy life, right? Treat everything as fun, right? Because The only problem we have here is worry. But there is no reason to worry in life. It's just a perspective,
Exactly.
right? Remove worry, and you will see the reason what happens if you remove worry, our our creativity starts flourishing. We are creative, we are creators in this world. The only that stops our creativity is when we are in a survival mode, because when you are in a survival mode, everything shuts down. You start creating fence and everything. But if you are happy, if you're not tense, if you are grateful, if you operate from awareness, suddenly you get ideas. That's why painters, musicians, artists, they're very creative because they are relaxed. They work with intention. They are on the flow. Nothing can stop them. They are joyful. They are magnetic. Those are all the result of being a creator. And being a creator is all of us. We are all creators, right? We just need to relax. So I hope you all find value. This is, I just get so hyped about it. I think I'm going to do another session about this. Um, I think it's something really that I think that we all need, and not really need, but it's something helpful. Okay, so this was recorded, so I'm gonna post it in the community or post it in the classroom, so it's something that we can look back. If you have any questions, just let me know. If you want to implement this in your life, you know, just let me know. DM me, book a call, and then if you want to have more clarity, implement it real in constantly in your situation, and probably you're struggling on identifying the static or how to find more gratitude. Let's book a call so that I can help you out hand in hand, and then let's all sing together, dance together, enjoy life, and create a community, a life with clarity. So I hope you all find value in this. Oh, by the way, hello, Johan. Nice to meet you, mate. So there will be the recording is will be in the community, and I hope you all find value. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. You know, no worries, man. There will be I'm gonna do another session about this because I think it's. I love talking about this, and I think it is valuable.
Yes.
So, any question, just let me know in the chat. If you don't want to talk in the video, don't be shy. Don't let emotion make your decision, right? It's all about having fun. It's all about sharing values. It's all about lifting up each other here in this community. So this clarity system is good. It's not just for our life, but it also works for our business, for whatever goal what we have. If you want to with your fitness, or if you're struggling with something, this clarity shift method, just as I explained, just give it a try, step by step. If you need help, give me a call, and then let's work it on together. Okay. So if you don't have any question, I'm gonna wrap this up. And thanks, Rena, for being here. And thank you for being part of this live presentation. I hope you find value to this. I hope you had fun because that is what
Yes.
it's all about. I had to get clarity about it. So thank you so much and see you all inside.
Okay.
Peace. Bye bye.
Bye bye.